The SAR management system is intended to keep track of all the information in terms of personnel, the units, vessels, the district operation throughout the region. It's intended to collect data in terms of the missions that we go on, the incidents, the training hours that we put in, to be able to summarize this at the end of a season to account for all of the activities that are being conducted by the various people and units involved in Central and Arctic. Starting at the unit level, this system will allow unit leaders or the training officers to see where some of their members are at in terms of training, how many hours they're putting in, see where improvements need to be made. In the past, a lot of it was probably a little bit ad hoc. Having a system like this will allow the units to really manage what they're doing in terms of their training and their personnel and their assets. From a district level, I would think much the same thing. The district directors will be able to see what his various units are doing, how many hours they're putting into training, how many members are there, how many are active, how many are participating. When people need to recertify, for example, when do they need a SAR course again, or when do they need a first aid course again, when do their certificates expire? And I believe from the regional level, this will help in terms of funding perhaps, that the Coast Guard Auxiliary will be able once and for all to really account for how many volunteer hours are being put into the Coast Guard Auxiliary and to justify the funding that we receive. For the most part, I find that the forms try to simulate the old paper form, so there isn't a whole lot of a learning curve or new learning curve there. In some areas, because it's electronic and things can come from drop-down menus, a lot of the answers are pre-formed or predetermined for you. It's just a matter of selecting the most accurate or correct answer. So there's not a lot of learning curve there. It does take a little bit of practice to walk through each form once or twice just to become familiar with them, but beyond that, it's fairly user-friendly. I think it's important for the members to learn the system so they feel comfortable being able to go into the SMS system and keep it up to date for their personnel profile, to be able to submit an expense form, perhaps, or keep their own personal logs up to date. The system is something very new that none of us have seen before. It's not a commercially available piece of software, so it is different. It does look different than other programs. So it does take a little bit of practice, but not a lot. So it's important for the users to get comfortable with it so that they are conversant in being able to use it. There are slight differences in how the regions across Canada function in terms of their administration of their procedures. So my understanding is that the SMS system will be tailored to the specific needs of each region. However, what you're going to see today in the SMS system will guide you through the procedures for any of the regions across Canada. I work with computers on a daily basis, but I'm not by any stretch of the imagination a computer guru or anything like that, and I do struggle with software. And even at that, I've been able to navigate my way through the system and learn it quite effectively, just from really just going into it, not being afraid of it, trying out some of the forms and summaries that are there, and just seeing what they do when you click on various items. Well, the importance of the system is a lot of the data that's being entered into it will be used to generate statistics that are going to be very effective in managing the Central and Arctic or any of the regions across Canada. So it's very important for the individual members to get active with the system and go in and manage their own level so that it's from that base that the system will grow. You know, with that information and the reports that will be submitted, we'll be able to keep a very accurate record of what's happening within our areas.